Dr. Malachi Martin, ex-Jesuit, former exorcist, and one-time advisor to 3 popes. For 30 years, as a Catholic priest, Dr. Martin did exorcisms. So from New York City, staying up late, here is Dr. Malachi Martin. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Well, good morning, Art. How are you?
Oh, I am very well, and I am so honored to have you here. Many years ago now, you can tell me how many,
yes.
The movie The Exorcist came out.
Yes.
It was the first of its kind, really, major movies, and it scared the hell out of me.
I find that very curious, I really do. Even more than any of the Dracula and the Frankenstein films?
Even more than the movies Alien, where monsters are popping out of people's bellies and all sorts of horrible things.
Yes.
And I think the reason is because I viewed The Exorcist as real.
Yes, I think so. And it did touch on a chord, the existence of demons, which could, on occasion, inhabit the body of some human being. I think that might be the element, and to set also, that particular picture was set in Washington, real lifetime Washington, you know, and you had real live-looking characters undergoing these horrible contortions and distortions. The fact is, Art, the fact is that at the back of our consciousness, there's always a fear of the evil one.
Yes. Well, there may be a reason for that. The evil one. Now, let me start there by asking you, is there a difference between possession by the devil and possession by a demon?
Yes, there is. You see, the mythology or the legend or the doctrine or the teaching, whichever you want to regard it as, it holds that there is a major evil spirit called Lucifer, and there is another one called Satan, and they are accompanied by, or they are among many smaller demons, and these do attack and possess human beings in their will and their intellect. And I think that what I was saying was that I think at the edge of our consciousness there's always the fear that perhaps indeed there is such a thing, if we don't believe it. We Catholics do hold it, and Christians in general do hold it, but there's a consciousness, there's some evil spirit at work, it could be, in our world, and we're afraid of it. And that it can, according to the belief in many parts of the world and in many parts of history of man, there is possibility of being possessed, of one's body being dominated by such an evil spirit and used for nefarious ends.
Doctor, is the devil a fallen angel? Is that correct?
That's the idea. They are all fallen angels. The idea is that once upon a time, 1/3 of the angels of God revolted against him and were condemned to hell and became demons.
What was the purpose of that rebellion, Doctor?
The purpose of the rebellion was simply the ambition of one spirit, Lucifer, the son of the dawn, that's what his name means, the light bearer or the son of the dawn, who said, I will not serve. I will be equal to God. Mm-hmm. And there was supposedly this huge battle between the spirits, and the demons lost. And forever the fallen angels, those who rebelled, are condemned to hell and condemned to be evil and to promote evil amongst human beings.
Doctor, how old were you when you became a priest?
I was 33.
33.
33, and that was in 1954.
And when did you first encounter, as a young priest, how did you encounter anybody who was possessed? I know you have done, how many exorcisms have you done?
I've done thousands of minor exorcisms and about a couple of hundred major ones. Major ones in duration and in intensity are difficult, very difficult, and they're far fewer than the thousands of exorcisms you do every year.
Well, it is my understanding. Again, I'm operating from total ignorance here, other than the movies that I've seen. And
yes.
It may be all wrong. But my understanding is the Catholic Church does not lightly undertake to do an exorcism.
No.
How does it decide?
It decides this way. All right, so somebody comes to the church authorities and saying, look, my uncle, my brother, my wife, my sister, whatever it is, they are showing very funny signs. And there's usually in every good, well-run diocese, there's an exorcist, that is a priest appointed by the local bishop to deal with this. So the first thing you do is examine them, get them examined by a doctor, and find out, are they physically sound?
Certainly.
You see, there are ailments like La Tourette syndrome or Huntington's chorea, or a simple tumor on the brain, which produces phenomena, produces events in a person's life that look very like possession, but are not. So you must first of all satisfy yourself that there is nothing physical, no physical basis. Then one or two expert psychiatrists, usually people who don't believe in God, by the way, because they're skeptical, must tackle you and find out, are you just plain loony, or is there something they don't understand? And
Sure.
they come back with a report saying, well, the pattern is normal, we can't explain it. Then the church authorities generally say, okay, let's try exorcism. And in the first 20 minutes, believe you me, in the first 20 minutes, everybody at an exorcism ceremony knows whether it's genuine or not. It's quite clear.
In the longest or the hardest exorcisms, how long typically might it go on?
It can go on for the classic one in the United States was about 2.5 years long.
2.5 years?
2.5 years, yeah. It's been written up very recently by a simple reporter who simply chronicled the entire thing. But I've assisted at ones which went on for, 17 weeks.
My goodness.
We measure it in weeks. Sometimes it's only a week. Sometimes it's only hours. It depends. It depends on the tenacity of the demon in possession. It depends on the antecedents of the person. It depends on so many factors you just can't predict. You go into it blind in that sense.
You said, you said demons. So the majority of possessions are by demons.
That's right, they are. All true possession is by demons. Now, you see, there's a distinction between possession and obsession. Obsession is where somebody is being bothered continually by, for instance, cases I have in hand at the present moment are people who are bothered continually by appearances of animals with human faces bothering them, or pressures on them at night when they want to go to sleep.
Yes.
And funny faces and funny things happening to them. And you finally, when you rationalize it all and have the person examined physically and mentally, you come to the conclusion there are objective events taking place and they are being bothered and obsessed by a demon, and then you set about chasing that demon away.
Of those that have gone past the medical doctor and
Yes.
the psychiatrists,
Yes.
what percentage would you say turn out to be actual cases of possession?
My experience would say about 80%.
80%.
80%.
Then I would also ask, you said examined by two psychiatrists who
Right.
do not necessarily believe in God.
That's generally I've always tried to use the services and the skills of psychiatrists who will tell you I'm an atheist. You know, I really don't believe practically in God.
Really?
So, well, they're not influenced, therefore, by any prejudice.
So then there is a good use for even the atheist.
Yes, there is. Although I must tell you that I've only found one or two psychiatrists who wanted to assist at an exorcism, and generally, one of them I wrote about, Dr. Hammond. He simply gave up all psychiatry.
He did.
Once he went into the real thing.